For the test, I'm only gonna do 5 out of there's 9 questions, but the other ones are too easy. So I'm only gonna help you with these types. And this one over here. So there, I'm gonna ask you to simplify. For example, here everything's negative. Well, it's negative, 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 and then we have this. Okay. So the first thing you need to do, we need to combine these two quotient rule. So you subtract the exponents. So you're gonna have 3 minus 4 for this part, and then this one I'm gonna bring it up, and that one I'm gonna bring it down, and this one I'm gonna bring it down. Okay, so again, this one goes up, becomes a positive. This one comes down, it becomes a positive, and then this one stays, and this one comes down and becomes a positive. So now we can combine this, and we can simplify that. So this would be 3 minus 4 is 4 to the negative 1. This is a quotient rule, so you're going to subtract again. A 4 minus 5. And then this stay at the bottom is the product rule, so you add the exponents. And then we continue here. So that's a negative, so again, I'm going to have to bring this one down. So 4 to the positive 1 here. 4 minus 5 gives me negative 1. And 5 plus 3 gives me b to the 8. So again, that one I'm going to have to bring down because it's a negative. So at the end, you're going to have the 4 first. 4 to the 1, we don't need the 1 anymore. Then the a, we don't need the 1, it just became a positive. And then the b8 stays down here. And since we don't have anything, remember you need to put a 1. And that would be the answer for 1. The other question is very similar to this. Okay, when you have this is just a product rule. I know it looks different here because the exponents have numbers and letters. You still apply the same concept of math, right? There's no trick here. You just carry the 7 and the x because you're adding the exponents. 2x plus x. They all have x, so they're like terms, so that means you can add the coefficient. This one has a 1. So this would be 7 plus 2, 9, plus 1, 10. So 10x. So you see, even though it's in the exponent part of this, you still apply the same skills, the same math. Don't think it's different. And that's the answer. Okay. Here, so we have parentheses. So the first thing I would do is distribute the 2. That way it saves me work. But distribute the 2 to the exponents, remember. To the exponents. So I'm going to have negative 4 times negative 2. Negative 4 times negative 2. Times, then the base, negative 6 times negative 2. And then the a, negative 3 times negative 2 also. And negative 7 times negative 2. So I'm going to continue here. So 4 times 2, that becomes a positive. Again, they're both negatives. You use the same rules of math. It becomes a positive 8. Right? Negative times a negative, positive. And then 6 times 12. 6 times 2 is 12 positive over. 3 times 2 is a to the 6 positive. And 7 times 2 positive 14. Okay, now you combine the a's and the b's. This is the quotient rule, so you subtract 8 minus the 6 times, and then this b 12 minus 14. And we don't have anything at the bottom because we brought these two with these two numbers here. That's why we don't have anything here anymore. Now that one becomes a square, right? A minus 6 is 2. And that one becomes b negative square. Okay, so what's going to happen? We have to bring this one down because it's a negative. So the answer would be a square. And then this one comes down and the 2 becomes a positive, the exponents. And that's the answer. Okay. You're gonna get something like this. Again, this is the exponents. It's a subtraction, but it's still an exponent. So, but this is a product, right? Product. So what happens to the exponents? You add them. You still do the same thing, the same rule. So 3 minus a, so that's 1 plus, right? We're adding exponents. And you can put parentheses so that it makes sense. Plus a minus 4. Okay, so what happens? We can get rid of the parentheses because everything's just addition and subtraction. So it's 3 minus a plus the a plus negative 4. So I'm going to get rid of the plus here. I'm going to put negative because that's a negative. So that one's a positive, so that one does stay, and then that one a negative. Okay, so basically if you distribute this positive 1, that one stays positive 8, and that one stays negative 4. That's what I mean. Now here, you add like terms. 3 minus 4 gives you negative 1, right? And then negative a plus a, these two, they become a 0. So you have x to the negative 1. You bring it down, so you end up with x to the 1 power. Because these two, they became 0. Negative a, positive a, 0. You end up with that. And that's it. The other one is kind of like this. I don't think you end up with a number. I think you end up with numbers and letters, I think. So you might not have to bring down anything. All right. Okay, the last one. So they're giving you scientific numbers, and they want you to actually to simplify, and I think on the question I ask you to express results in standard form. So what the standard form means, it's just the numbers that we use every day. This is scientific form. Standard forms are the numbers that we use every day. So they don't want the scientific answer, they want the standard form. Okay, so I'm gonna regroup this one. Well, they're already grouped, but I'm gonna put them in a different way so that they kind of make sense. So 10 is divided by 2 times. So this is just times 10 to the 3rd power over 10 to the 5th power. So this is just a regular fraction. 10 divided by 2 is just 5 times. This is a quotient. You can apply the quotient rule for you subtract the exponents. 3 minus, and then remember that's negative 5. So the rule tells you to subtract, and you still have a negative here. So remember to carry that negative. Okay, after this is just 5 times. These two negatives become positive, so you're gonna have, I'm gonna write it like that's a positive. So these two became a positive. So 5 times 10 to the 8. Okay. After this, you can use a calculator, but I would put it back into, just change that symbol into that, and you'll see what happened, right? So now it's easier, and if you put the 0 here, times 10 to the 8, that's a scientific number. So what happens? How can we find this standard form? You're gonna bring, so you're gonna have the 5.0. So that positive 8 means this is a large number. So you're gonna move that decimal 8 times to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because we're going in reverse. Usually they give you a standard number and they want you to find a scientific. In this case, we're doing the opposite, right? We found a scientific, we want to find the standard. So all you have to do, put zeros here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. So rewrite it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is a really big number. 500 million. That's the answer. And that's all. Thank you.